I don't think that my mum is worth responding to directly because, as I said in the first time I started speaking about this with a colleague from the BBC, she's too far gone to change her mind. The only thing you can do is try and convince other people to step away from what she's advocating for. The problem with my mum's belief system is that unless people who are hearing her things for the first time are introduced to just how far those ideas go and what she believes in, like the maximum craziness of it, they can be lulled into this false sense of security where she's just criticizing vaccine passports or something like that. And this rally is a great example of it. She claims that she's doing a rally against vaccine passports, and she hijacks it and uses it to call for executions, it sounds like. So I'm used to this as far as her ideas get. They get very crazy. And I've always told people the best way to detox someone who's starting to say, hey, I'm listening to this person, is to say, okay, have you heard the full extent of what they say? Because they don't just talk about this. You know, I'm inundated over the course of the past 2 months since I told my mum I was getting the vaccine myself. She's been sending text messages to me and my brothers and sisters saying that my DNA is going to be changed, that the enzyme is by the devil, like created by the devil himself. This is as far as the ideas go.
Literally the devil.
That's as crazy as it gets. Yes, well, she claims that the enzyme's name is luciferase, which is A1 kind of writing skills, but not really based in biology. That's beside the point. The point is that I'm used to as far as it gets. But these people that have been following my mum for the past 1.5 2 years now, they've been taken down this slope and it's been gradually spoon-fed to them. So that it makes sense they're getting more and more radical. And now we're seeing the apex of how crazy it gets. And there's only one more step in terms of how crazy it can get. And that's people actually getting hurt. And that's what my mum's now calling for. So this is the grand finale, if you like.
Is this, in your view, Sebastian? And again, thank you, because I know from personal experience, it must be a terribly difficult position for you to be in, having challenged a lot of the jihadist extremism from within Muslim communities. I know how difficult this can be on your own personal emotional health as well. Is this, in your view, a process of radicalization that is occurring?
Yes, and it's interesting because I've seen growing up, I watched my mum get more and more radicalized. Now, what's interesting about conspiracy theories as opposed to, I suppose, systemized radicalization like you would see in terrorist groups on the right or the left, is that the radicalization doesn't really happen from any particular leader. Because although my mum is the leader, the way I watched her get radicalized, she'd go on the internet and take little pieces of different people's philosophies. So it'll be, a Reddit post over here, a blog post over there. And it's almost like a leaderless, headless entity, this set of ideas. And the way that my mum got into it was she would just get sucked into reading more and more information. And anyone who disagreed with the mainstream was someone she would then take ideas on board. So it's a hodgepodge. It's impossible to fight because there is no one person that you can put in jail to stop my mum from believing it. Now, my mum is the apex of the rest of the movement. So for the people who were in the rally, yes, my mum, David Icke, these other people, they're the leaders. We need to deal with them. But for my mum herself, I watched her get radicalized in a really, I guess, decentralized way. And that's why it's so hard to fight, because you can't discredit sources when she's using 1,000 sources a day. You can only discredit the actual framework for the ideas themselves. It's much tougher to argue against.